I'll show you in a minute. There's a person on the death card, in this death card, on their knees, begging. I see somebody, after, you know, numerous attempts of you trying to speak to them about what's going on, or probably you guys yelling and screaming at each other. Gemini, you are very, like I said, you're a cerebral sign, you're very intelligent, but when you, it's like you have two sides to you. You're really, really smart, but then if somebody makes you mad, you can have all the class and elegance and etiquette in the world. You get mad at somebody, especially somebody like this that you obviously love very much, because you keep taking them back. At any rate, you will go like straight hood on this person, cutting them with this. I mean, you're an air sign, right? So, swords. The Seven of Pentacles, more waiting. The Five of Cups again. And the Hermit again. So this is definitely what's going on here. This is recent, or an ongoing thing for many of you. I'm also seeing here, as a child, you working really hard on something, because I see an adult now who's remembering a parent just judging them and yelling at them. Again, it's possible abuse, but I just see a lot of just unhappiness and just a mean parent. There's Ace of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. Broken heart. And then they would come and ask for a new start, a new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles, only to turn around and just break your heart again. You got the Three of Swords, too. This is why I like using numerous decks, because it always backs up the... And look. Both upside down, lies and deception, the Seven of Swords, and the family card, family and marriage card, Ten of Cups, upside down. It's not good. I cannot tell you what to do, but I can tell you that these people like this, they don't change. They never will. However, you are Gemini. So the constellation of Gemini and the story behind them, it's Castor and Pollux. They were twins, and anytime I've ever read the story, I don't know if it said it outright, but I always got the feeling that they were like teenage age, because they talked about them being twins, and you know, in the sense that they were children. So I've got this like really like adolescent kind of vibe here. So that's why I'm thinking, like, as a child you could have been yelled at, or, you know, verbally abused. But in this relationship, my point is that when you're in your adolescent years and you get into a relationship, you kind of have this, I mean, it's nice when you're a teenager and you're not getting abused, but you have this like feeling in your stomach where you're just, You just want that person. And you forgive them over and over again. You take them back. Look, Five of Pentacles again. So, my question is, how long are you going to let them keep doing this to you, Gemini? Because this is some bullshit. And you've got the two of the Three of Swords cards and the Lion and the Sea. This person has cheated on you, and you know it. He goes out to the bar, and a couple days later, your friend comes over and says her husband's cousin saw him in the bar rubbing up on some other girl. You know about it. You confront him. You know, you've got him. And then he begs, right? He or she begs to come back, and you love them so much that you take them back every time. They get in trouble, drinking, driving, or whatever, end up in jail. You come, hand them the bail money. They swear they're never going to do it again. Or they're into something they're not supposed to. Come in, steal your flat screen, steal your Xbox. You go to feed the kids, and your pork and beans and Rice Krispies are going too. Come on, Gemini. This person's a piece of shit. And you're better than that. You're smart. And you forget that a lot. Because you just have that, like, there's this innocence and adolescence about the way you guys love. And it's great. It's fun if you're with the right person. And the way that your mind works, excuse me, all you do is sit there and think about what you can do better. How can I make this work? You come up with a new strategy every time. Look, there's drinking and hiding stuff. Seven of Wands. More struggle and fighting. Well, let's see what wants to come out. This deck is really speaking to me about the story, so I want to get 3 more cards. It's kind of, I feel like this, usually this is the last one I use, but since I had those other cards, I figured I would just go ahead from there, and I'm hoping you can see better. Another offer of love. Love it. There's your card, Gemini. See, somebody's offering you love. There's a caduceus here. Healing. You know, the medical sign of caduceus, like the snakes that are around. But yes, it's the Lover's card, but okay, well, yeah, this is just exactly what I was saying. Somebody's offering you love here. I see all these little things falling down around this cup. Yeah, typically I know this is a happy card, but I feel like those are tears. And And here you are, right? Trying to make a decision. This is you. This is Two of Swords. It's Gemini. Two of Cups. Another Gemini card. And then this is the person committing all these sins. This is the card greed, gluttony, what have you. Well, the devil didn't come out, but close enough. Yeah, I wanted to get 3, so I ended up getting 4, but oh well. I'll go through my last deck real quick. This Two of Cups card, the first thing that popped in my mind was me looking at the caduceus. I wasn't looking at it as somebody offering you love. Your sign of twins. So the energy that I'm getting off of it is for you to love yourself. I do that every time. It's healing the other side of you. You know that side of you that you hide from everybody? You don't talk about your feelings even though it's hurting you. And what does Gemini do? Well, Gemini's rational. I'll just go to work and keep making money. Focus all of my energy on working and working and working. And not deal with this other side of me that's hurting, you know? It's like a shadow side of you that you just keep to yourself because you need to appear strong to everybody, you know? And this card, a lot of times I see this as kind of like an inner battle. Thoughts. But that's how you deal with it. You just channel all your energy into work. So there really are two sides to you, Gemini, because you're, like I said, you're incredibly intelligent. You're hard workers. I mean, you put 100% into your work, but I think that's because you end up working somewhere that makes you're valued at your job. Like, really, really valued. And that's where you get your sense of self-worth, because you either didn't find it at your home when you were a child, or you're not finding it with your spouse or your person that you're in a relationship with, or both. It was both of them, and that's likely. It's very likely to come from abuse as a child, or seeing abuse as a child, and then end up in an abusive relationship. But I don't see anything that's indicating to me that there's anything physical. It's a lot of fighting and words and manipulation and just like, you know how they say like a narcissist will like gaslight you, and even parents, like think about, I mean, that's Snow White. That was it. No, that was the Queen. I don't know. But, you know, I mean, look at the Stepmother and Cinderella. I mean, she did it. Mommy Dearest was crazy. And what's that one, that book by V.C. Andrews? Oh, Flowers in the Attic. That mom was crazy. There are crazy people out there. And there are mothers that are actually just bad to their children. And it really messes them up for life. Those first couple of years of like bonding with a parent are the most crucial. I'd say like the first 6 years are the most, that pretty much forms the child, and that will end up being the subconscious later on. And it's the King of Air. It's just thought. I mean, it's thoughts. A lot of thinking. I told you, you guys are cerebral. That's what you do. You think. All this looping and thinking. Well, what can I do? How can I feel better? What can I do to make it better? What can I do to make everybody happy? What can I give this person? What can they take from me? How much harder do I have to work? How much more money do I have to give them? What can I buy? You know, will they love me this way? Will they value me this way? It's so strange to see a Gemini, because the dichotomy between your two sides is unparalleled. You 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 can rip somebody a new asshole, but at the same time have no self-worth. But not many people see it. You're good. I mean, you wear that mask very, very well. The pain in your eyes, they can't see it. You know, I mean, just look. That's basically you, right? In this one card, the Nine of Cups. I guess I saw drinking and somebody hiding something. I'm also seeing there are some of you, male or female, but it's probably more females here, that suffers from either bulimia or anorexia. And I don't think that you really hide it too much. I mean, I usually try from some people. And I don't know if it's like to the point where it's really bad and, you know, and you're in the hospital. I mean, it's possible, I guess. But I'm just seeing somebody who struggles with their weight and the way that they look really, really bad. You don't think that you're attractive. Oh, here, let me tell you something. Okay. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, they're all air signs, right? So, Libra is known for the elegant and beautiful ones. I think all the supermodels, or the majority of supermodels, are actually Libra. They're long, they're tall, and they're just, I think Venus rules Libra, so they're just Venusian, they're beautiful. And then Aquarians are known for being, they're the most intelligent ones in the zodiac. Really, really smart. You have a combination of both, but in different ways. Your smart is wit, just quick and sharp, and like I said, you could tear somebody a new asshole in a heartbeat. And you're elegant and you know, you have grace and you're composed, and like I said, you're intelligent, just like Libra. But in the drop of a hat, you can go hood on somebody and just cut them and look like, I mean, it's like I said, the dichotomy in your personality is the truth is that I like most Geminis. Now, it is possible that this is reversed, and if you're watching this, you're the one that's doing this to somebody. Very possible. A Gemini who does this could possibly be, I think, the worst sign to talk to somebody and treat somebody this way. And the thing of it is, they're good at hiding it. Or if you're the Gemini, good at hiding it and come across as this very nice, like I said, composed person, and then you just snap. Like, I can see a serial killer being a Gemini. Five of Swords. I have a Gemini story. I don't know. I didn't hang out with a lot of them. I had somebody I worked for. This was about 2 years ago. Taurus, Gemini cusp, I think, but I know they were Gemini. This fool was super, I mean, really, really nice. It's my boss. Really, really nice. But he got very inappropriate very quickly. I quit once. He promised he wouldn't do it again. I came back and he like behaved for maybe 2 weeks, and then it started again. And at one point, I mean, I actually started having nightmares about it. Like, I just got this vibe off of him that like he would go crazy and like tie me up and like, I don't know. And I started having bad dreams. And then sure enough, I mean, he didn't time everything. I was over there working late, and he, you know, put his hands on me, and then he didn't hurt me or anything, but I tried to get up to leave, and he just grabbed my shoulder and like kind of pushed me to sit back down, but that was it, and that was enough. Like, he made me uncomfortable. And that was it. I quit. He started getting drunk, calling me all the time, harassing me. I had to change my phone numbers, everything. That was my boss. And I was heartbroken because I loved my job. So, just saying that Gemini's, I had no idea. I had known him for about 4 or 5 years. No idea that he'd ever act like that. Not a clue. That's how good they are. Like I said, they can wear a mask. They're like serial killers. Sorry, guys, but that's just for the ones that are like are just. It's like having an angel on your shoulder and a devil on the other side. But everybody's like that. It's just that yours is to the extreme, and then you add into like the adolescent stuff in it, and it's like you want what you want when you want it, but you're fun. I mean, you're a lot of fun. See, another mask. Walking the tightrope. I think you were stuck here about what to do. The hangman, and then you decide to. I think you're gonna kick their ass out and send them packing because they're leaving on the boat. I sure hope so. Now, here's the other thing. Yep, here we go. It is entirely possible that this is just a really shitty relationship. I forgot to mention that, where abuse doesn't really take place, but one person is just really disrespecting the other person and just taking, and you just, I mean, there's just no respect. But then your other side kicks in with your low self-esteem, and you need this person. You need to feel loved. So they could take off and leave and come right back and promise you the world, you know, that they're going to straighten up this time. And they're not going to. I can tell you right now, they won't. I don't see anything here. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it rarely happens. Because for one thing, I don't even get the vibe that this person even feels guilty. I haven't seen anything here besides the 5 of Cups, but that was coming out when he, you know, with all that, whoever that person was, acting a fool, drinking and partying and cheating and gambling or whatever they're doing. And the Tower, it's like, you have the Queen of Cups and the Empress and the World all coming out together. If you have moved on and you're moving it, you will. This is right here, this triad of cards is exactly what you would want to see. 3, 3. Well, like I said, you're definitely not stupid. So let me get these cards out. I just wanted to get. Okay, so the 13th. It's 13. This is the Devil card, but it's called Transformation in this deck. And it's Friday the 13th today. What do you know? Excellent. I think I've got it way too. I don't know, that light. I'm on a bad angle. And then the Love card. Any of you are, again, I'm getting Scorpio, Libra, Taurus. There's a lot of Scorpio, Libra, Taurus here. A lot. Bam. There you go. this is great. Here, I'm gonna get your other cards real quick. Oh my. I just got a couple of these. I always say it in the videos, these are my favorite cards. And I don't know why, they're just little animal cards, but I just see so much in these cards. I don't know if it's because, like, I like to read about animal behavior. I think that might be what it is. And just, like, the different way that their brains work and stuff like that. Because I just think it's fascinating. They all do the neatest things that you just, I don't know. I just think it's cool to study animal behavior. And you've got the Ten of Cups. You've got Justice here with the Owl, which is the sign of intelligence, and the sign, like I said, that you could be dealing with Leo, Libra. But this is, I mean, this is the sign of, this is the Gemini sign. And the Ten of Cups is that family card that I had shown you, the same one that was upside down. And now it's right side up. You got the World again. You have a lot of the same cards coming out in this deck, so you can guarantee that this reading is accurate for some Gemini out there. Great, I'm gonna burn my house down. Okay, what did I do with it? What did I do? Anyway, it was the one with the little families sitting or walking under the bridge. Or no, not that's. Yeah, no, that's the Ten of Pentacles. It's yeah, the one with the rainbow on it. It's the one where everybody's celebrating. Oh well, we'll find it. Sure, it's here somewhere. Look, I had these all straight. I told you I can't keep them straight, but I can see better this way. I hold them up for you. And even if I had more room, you still wouldn't be able to see them if I had them spread out. You're gonna stab that MFR. But yeah, this is just reminding me of you. The world. Worldly energy. For quite a few of you, you have children with this person. But I am seeing I don't know, with the zebra card, I just got everything's not black and white. So at one point you were, I think it kind of went this way, and you were just in this gray area trying to think, but you thought like a Gemini. This King of Swords, he's got like an owl beak too. So there's a lot of confirmation about how intelligent you are and how, you know, your cerebral and reasoning is your thing. And the Queen of Cups she's getting, balancing her emotions and stuff. So she's definitely good. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Phoenix. So this is just like you rising from the ashes. This, like I said, if you don't feel like you can get out of whatever you're in now, there are plenty of people that stay in that kind of stuff for the wrong reasons, or because they feel like they don't have any way to get out of it. Like if you felt hopeless or something. It's never hopeless. As a matter of fact, I will tell you right now, if you're in one of those situations, you and your kids, or just you, and you feel like you can't get out, I guarantee you, if you message me, I'm 95% sure I can tell you a way to do it. I used to do that stuff for a living. I gladly give you instructions and find ways to help you, and I mean it. Don't let somebody emotionally abuse you like that, especially if you're a young adult, or even an adult at any age. It won't change, and you'll have years of healing to do, but it'll just destroy you. Either that, or you'll channel all your energy into your job, and you'll be productive, and you'll be valuable at your job. And then you'll be eating a whole pizza and a bag of Doritos and throwing up and with teeth marks in your hand. Or starving yourself and passing out, or getting a boob job, or not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, I don't know, I don't think it's always people that have self-esteem issues with that. Sometimes that's just somebody who has a lot of self-esteem and they just want to feel better. That's my opinion. If I could have convinced myself to spend the money on it at one point, I probably would have done it. But I've had kids now, so I'm not worried about it. There's a lesson here for you, and this has been a definite vibe throughout this ever since I've started doing the readings. Alright, let me just get through these, okay? Here, the Fiery Sword. This is like the King of Air. This is the most intelligent card in the deck, so that's just backing it up. The Journeyman, and like the Eight of Water. Like I said, you're on a journey. You're leaving. I need to check something. It's just the angle that I think that I'm looking at where it looks. You're loving yourself here. You're moving on, but this this just looks like a guy with a cheesy grin, like a nasty vagrant asshole. See, it's a piece of shit. And I guarantee you, for most of you, you're very pretty. The difference between Libra and Gemini, and I'm talking about women because I don't really know too many Gemini males. I've heard most of them are good looking. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But say, of course, with the females, like I said, the Libras are like the models, are like really tall. But the Gemini women, they're never usually super skinny. But they're just like, they just look like a woman. But to them, maybe they had weight issues when they were younger or something. And I did get a feeling here that was one thing that, like, maybe would have been a problem. Like your boyfriend or your husband always, like, got on you about your weight. Or summer's coming up now, and there's, I see that there are some here that are wanting to lose weight. And the reason I'm saying that here is because, you know, it's kind of like the same. And here she's heavier and the background's blue, so she's just kind of depressed. Like she doesn't, I have a feeling like she just doesn't want to go to the pool or something. And she's not even that fat. But this is how and men too. Men can be anorexic. I dated a guy who had anorexia, and I didn't know it until like right at the end of our relationship. It was weird. So anyway, yeah. But then, I mean, you know what I was seeing here? This is gonna be a long video, but a lot of times people don't exercise because they, you know, it feels like a chore. They don't like it, and I didn't either. Like, but then when I figured out that I could do something fun that I like to do and exercise, so dance. You can dance like by yourself in your room. Any kind of dancing you want to do. It's fun. And you can actually exercise on that. I actually started doing Zumba. That's what got me into doing that. And I was like, I like this kind of dancing. I'm going to do this kind of dancing. I like running. This morning I wanted to exercise, and I started listening to trap music, pulled it up on my phone and listened to like a song and a half, and then I fell asleep. So, no, I didn't work out. That's right. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying, because that's what I'm seeing here. But in either way, you went from if it wasn't the weight thing, you went from a state of being down and sad. And the sage, he's also one of the considered like a smart card, like a sage. It's all knowing everything. And if you look at kind of like the branches that are coming out on him, sort of I don't need to put that there. It sort of looks like he is like they're like brain connections, right? He's all knowing, he knows everything. So, like I said, you're really smart. So then, since you're smart, you will appreciate this advice. Again, I said, if you are in a situation like that, yeah, if any of you guys ever need to talk, just message me. It's completely fine. I won't mind. I think it's really interesting here that Uranus, he is the god of air. And the swords are representative of the air sign, which you are. The swords represent thinking, and as I've mentioned before, you are some of the quickest thinkers in the zodiac. So there are a lot of cards that are showing me that this was definitely a lesson, and I know it's a lesson that you didn't want to have, and it may have been multiple things that were lessons, but every time it happened, or any of these things happened, it made you smarter. And you're strong. You're very strong for going through all this and ending up on top. But then you look at the world and you're like, what does all this mean? You know, what's the point of even at now having all these things, and for what? You're asking yourself the biggest philosophical question that almost everyone asks themselves several times in life, and that is, what is the meaning of life? And before I go off on this, I will Ayn Rand is, she said, to be somewhat of a bad writer. I would disagree. If she is spoken of in philosophy, around philosophy students, you're made to feel like you're just not like you don't take it seriously or something of that nature. I really think what it is that she was a philosopher who stood true to her word. Her ideas were pretty good. Some of them very moving, but also very extreme at the same time. And it's funny that I would even bring up Atlas Shrugged in a metaphysical tarot reading, because it's completely not what she was rooted in. She was rooted in realism and facts, and well, that was I think that was the most of what I got out of her philosophy. However, there are plenty of references at the end of Atlas Shrugged, especially with Harry Reardon, that focused on spirituality. So this is the beauty of a Gemini reading, complete dichotomies of thought. And then I'm just finding some similarities between this situation. You're channeling your emotions through your work, and do you work as a means to an end? There's a clear yet profound message in your cards that are pointing to this exact question, like, what was it all for? Do I sacrifice my immoral beliefs? Am I a means to an end? One of Rand's quotes or stories reference the zero-sum game, where if you are altruistic in the morality of self-interest, you always have to take from somebody to take away from yourself. So that's a zero-sum game. It's a dog-eat-dog world, that kind of thing. And every bit of her writing was done from the root being capitalism, but it all, if you think about it, it linked up with something else. It was like a metaphor for some other part of the world. The railroad company in Atlas Shrugged definitely was supposed to be or symbolize, I think, probably like the gas and oil companies in the world. So, and with these world cards here, and at the end of Atlas Shrugged, there's the reference to the $sign, and and the shrug to the world and all that kind of stuff. So that symbolism. It's almost, part of me feels like he doesn't really answer the question, but he does, because there's a quote at the end of it, and the movie wasn't as good as the book, but I'll link it so you can watch it. The quote was moving. There's a speech in the book too. I say it's like over 200 pages. I doubt you'll want to read that. Dagny Taggart, she's the protagonist. I want to say the protagonist female. She reminds me of a Gemini in a little bit, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because there are definitely good elements to her character. But Rand was not a bad writer. I think that, she had editors, so I think she did it on purpose. I believe she was trying to make a point, and that will be. But just remember, it's not your moral obligation to keep other people happy. You're not helpless. I don't think Geminis are ever helpless. You don't have the healthiest coping skills, but you have the ability to move on. Like you lighting up and exploding out in the world. Perhaps some of you are getting married or starting a new relationship this summer. Or you're just picking sunflowers and catching lightning bugs. Who knows? But either way, you're finding your happiness. I think Joel Osteen's the guy on TV that always says, "Find your joy." But look, here you go with the Queen of Water and the World cards. You would completely understand the reference I'm trying to make between the free thinking and finding joy within your work. It's really, really important for you to not let people use you as a means to their end. It's not how life is supposed to be, and you're the one son that will let you do it. You are valuable in other ways than making other people money or giving money to other people or doing what they want you to do. Like I said, the ideas and about the world and Uranus and the world and all that kind of stuff. You see, you're supposedly they're holding up the world, but it's not the world that it was actually being held up. It was actually Atlas holding up Uranus, right? It wasn't a globe or the world. It was Uranus. So I don't know how that got messed up or if that's absolutely true. That's what I heard. But I think that is probably true. Either way, with the World card here and you being an air sign, it just fit because the story is just making me. As a matter of fact, I haven't read it in about 5 years, but there were elements to your reading that were just making me think so much about your story. I would say Dagny reminds me of Gemini females, but Geminis as a whole, I almost see your evolution or this lesson that you were supposed to learn more like Reardon's, like the whole process, you know. Well, I will let you guys go, but if you guys could do me one favor, and if this reading resonates, just like, share, and subscribe to my channel, please, because I haven't really promoted it yet. I was sick last month, and I had to stop for a little while, and then I got really busy with work around Christmas. So, yeah. Oh, also, I wanted to let you know that I do usually post a music video on my Facebook page with my readings. You can find it on Olivite Oracle. I will link that down there too. And usually it's the lyrics that have some kind of meaning. It usually pops in my head, but kind of like this reading, they usually come to me right in the beginning or before. But I think it'll be like your reading. I'll just get it. I just need a few minutes. So yeah, just look for that in the description and enjoy your Aries season. And I will be back hopefully in Taurus season. And remember to love yourselves.